Deep in the Nevada desert lies one of the most secretive and enigmatic locations in the world, Area 51. This isolated military facility, officially acknowledged by the US government only in recent decades, has been shrouded in secrecy and mystery since its inception. Its origins trace back to the Cold War era, a time defined by high-stakes espionage, rapid technological advancement, and intense geopolitical rivalry. Established in the mid-1950s, Area 51 was chosen for its remote geographic location, vast open spaces, and favorable weather conditions, making it an ideal site for testing newly developed aircraft and experimental technologies that demanded utter secrecy. The key motivation was to develop and test spy planes and aircraft capable of reconnaissance over adversary territories, especially the Soviet Union. Early projects included the Lockheed U-2, a revolutionary high-altitude reconnaissance aircraft that forever changed the nature of intelligence gathering. The base was initially camouflaged as Paradise Ranch, to lure workers to the inhospitable desert and maintain the facade of normalcy. Officially, it was part of the Nevada Test and Training Range, a region already established for nuclear and military testing. The name Area 51 originates from a grid designation on government maps, but the exact origins of the moniker remain wrapped in secrecy. From the beginning, the US government went to extraordinary lengths to ensure complete secrecy. The base operated under high classification levels, shielded by restricted airspace, armed guards, and electronic surveillance. Unrealistic legal protections denied land access, disrupted local flights, and forbade photography. This unparalleled secrecy inevitably bred rumors, speculation, and fascination. As the Cold War heat increased, Area 51 grew into a critical center for aerospace innovation. The Lockheed Skunk Works, the secretive division responsible for aircraft development, engineered planes at the site designed to fly higher, faster, and beyond enemy radar detection. The base tested the A-12 Oxcart in the 1960s, a sleek spy plane capable of Mach 3 speeds and altitudes well above 80,000 feet. Functional marvels that fueled the imagination of civilians who glimpsed strange shapes and unexplained lights in the sky. While many details about the base and its projects have been declassified, much remains unknown or heavily redacted. The government's commitment to secrecy sparked myriad conspiracy theories that soon merged with the era's UFO hysteria, giving birth to legends that Area 51 served as a repository for alien technology, crashed spacecraft, and extraterrestrial beings. Local communities such as Rachel, Nevada, sit on the periphery of this secretive operation, becoming informal gateways to the mysteries hidden within. The culture around these towns embraces the lore, turning Area 51 into not just a military base, but a symbol of the unknown, the unexplainable, and the possibility of life beyond Earth. Over the decades, Area 51 has been at the nexus of official aerospace breakthroughs and clandestine government security programs, simultaneously maintaining a veil that continues to provoke curiosity, skepticism, and endless speculation. This first exploration of Area 51's origins reveals a landscape where reality and myth blur, where secret planes and whispered rumors coexist in a vast desert enigma. In April 1955, during a recon flight over Nevada, CIA officer Richard Bissell and the Lockheed Skunk Works engineering team identified Groom Lake as a perfect location for secret testing. The vast, flat, dry lake bed, combined with remote isolation, stable weather, and proximity to other military installations, made it ideal for hosting the clandestine development of the U-2 spy plane, an aircraft that promised unprecedented high-altitude reconnaissance over Cold War adversaries. Designated initially as Paradise Ranch to mask its secret nature and to ease recruitment, the site quickly adopted the more cryptic Area 51, a label derived from the Atomic Energy Commission's topographical map designation. The base's runway was first paved in 1956, and construction efforts rapidly expanded to support both the U-2 program and the influx of technical staff required for development and testing. Area 51 was not just a hangar or runway. It evolved into a fully functioning military installation with housing, hangars, maintenance facilities, and advanced radar and tracking systems. Every aspect was designed for maximum secrecy, including specialized security forces tasked with repelling intruders and preventing unauthorized photography or overflight. The U-2 program, known within the CIA as Project Aquatone, symbolized the height of Cold War espionage and technological innovation. The U-2's ability to fly above 70,000 feet provided American intelligence with detailed photographic surveillance of Soviet military installations, a critical advantage before satellite technology fully matured. Testing at Area 51 also laid the groundwork for future aircraft projects with increasing sophistication. After the U-2, the CIA and Air Force turned to the A-12 Oxcart project, a successor designed for even higher and faster flight. The A-12 could reach Mach 3 plus speeds and altitudes above 80,000 feet, enabling deeper penetration into hostile airspace, with minimal risk of interception. The base's excavation and construction during the 1950s remain shrouded in mystery. Oft-told stories recount workers living in tents during blistering summers and freezing winters. The secrecy was so tight that personnel were required to carry two forms of identification and use code names when discussing their work, even in casual conversation. Despite no official public acknowledgement at the time, numerous UFO sightings in southern Nevada increased during the U-2 and A-12 development periods. Witnesses reported strange lights, fast-moving objects exhibiting flight characteristics beyond known aircraft, and unusual sounds. Many speculated these sightings were linked to the secret planes emerging from Area 51, fueling the growing myths that the government was hiding extraterrestrial technology. Technological innovations tested at Area 51 went beyond reconnaissance planes. The base was instrumental in the development and refinement of stealth technology decades later, with the F-117 Nighthawk stealth fighter undergoing its initial flight tests on Groom Lake's runway in the late 1970s and early 1980s. The fighter's ability to avoid radar detection challenged traditional notions of air defense and was pivotal in modernizing U.S. aerial combat capabilities. Area 51's growth also involved the complex interaction of military intelligence, aerospace engineers, scientists, and security personnel operating in an environment of intense stigma and secrecy. The site evolved into a hub for black projects, classified aircraft, and advanced weapon systems that required absolute confidentiality to keep adversaries uninformed. Security protocols were unlike any other military base. The area surrounding Groom Lake was classified as top secret, with restricted airspace that remains off-limits to unauthorized aircraft. Armed guards supervised perimeter fences, and the Camo Dudes personnel in camouflage uniforms patrolled the grounds to deter any potential trespassers attempting to get a glimpse of classified operations. The isolation and security fostered both loyalty and paranoia among staff. Workers were often sworn to secrecy under threat of severe penalties. The base operated within a highly compartmentalized framework, where employees often worked without full awareness of the broader project, only their piece in a much larger puzzle. Area 51's Cold War role underscored America's strategic imperative to maintain aerial superiority and intelligence dominance, with the base enabling breakthroughs essential to national security during a time when global tensions frequently teetered on the brink of nuclear conflict. Yet, while Area 51's known mission centered on developing top-secret aircraft, its unparalleled secrecy gave rise to abundant speculation and conspiracy theories. many connecting it with extraterrestrial phenomena, recovered alien technologies, and secret government experimentation. The intricate balance between groundbreaking aerospace innovation and persistent secrecy fashioned Area 51 into a cultural icon of mystery. It remains today a symbol of classified technological progress woven tightly with myths that captivate the imagination worldwide. Once established, Area 51 rapidly transformed from a simple desert runway into the nation's premier site for cutting-edge aviation research and covert military technology testing. As the Cold War intensified, the focus on achieving aerial superiority led to an expanding portfolio of projects and a growing cadre of highly skilled scientists, engineers, and intelligence operators working behind its guarded gates. Area 51's strategic purpose revolved around developing and perfecting reconnaissance aircraft, capable of penetrating deep into foreign territory without being detected or intercepted. The U-2 program, the first major initiative, pushed the boundaries of altitude and speed, enabling unprecedented surveillance capabilities against Soviet facilities. However, its eventual vulnerability to advanced missile systems and radar spurred the development of a successor aircraft with even more astonishing performance. This successor came in the form of the A-12OX cart, a top-secret jet powered by the CIA's Skunk Works division. The A-12 was faster, stealthier, and flew higher than anything before it, with its titanium structure challenging manufacturing norms. Secretly operated from Area 51, it was part of the larger program known as OX Cart, which eventually influenced the design of the famous SR-71 Blackbird. The Blackbird would become a symbol of American aerospace dominance, combining speed and altitude unmatched anywhere in the world. Transporting aircraft parts to this remote facility was itself a classified operation. Components for the U-2 and later projects were flown from Lockheed's Burbank facility to Area 51 on military cargo planes, often under heavy security. Personnel movements were similarly discreet. Workers and engineers were shuttled daily on secure flights, their identities often obscured to non-essential colleagues. During the late 1960s and early 1970s, Area 51 expanded its role into more diverse experimental domains. The site hosted programs to test foreign aircraft captured or recovered, including Soviet-made MiG fighters. These aircraft evaluation projects occurred under the guise of foreign material exploitation, where American pilots and engineers studied adversary technologies to better understand their capabilities and weaknesses. The knowledge gained from this work played a significant role in shaping U.S. air combat strategies and missile systems. One especially murky chapter involves the construction and testing of stealth aircraft, starting with technologies that would culminate in the F-107 Nighthawk. This pioneer stealth fighter, characterized by its angular, radar-absorbing design, was kept under intense secrecy, with test pilots flying in complete isolation from the outside world. The technology research conducted at Area 51 revolutionized military aviation, enabling aircraft to bypass enemy radar defenses with unprecedented success. Physical security at Area 51 increased over time. The area around Groom Lake became encircled by a network of fences, surveillance cameras, and guarded checkpoints operated by contractors known as Camo Dudes, famously dressed in full camouflage. The base's remoteness was leveraged by the military to facilitate test flights during nighttime hours, cloaking secret aircraft in darkness and raised fences. Despite everything being conducted under a tightly controlled veil, rumors persisted. Residents in nearby towns reported strange lights and unexplainable noises, occasional spikes in activity. Test flights accompanied by blindingly bright lights accelerating at incomprehensible speeds fueled speculation outside the base's perimeter. These phenomena, though likely accounts of secret test aircraft, seeded the growing cultural mythology of alien crafts and government cover-ups. Area 51's secrecy was so complete that it wasn't officially acknowledged by the government until decades after its construction. It required years of public advocacy, legal pressure, and the release of declassified documents for its existence to be formally admitted by the CIA in 2013. The base not only contributed to American defense supremacy during the Cold War, but also set a precedent for future clandestine military research centers. It's a place where advanced aerospace technology, national security, and the shadows of secrecy merge to shape modern warfare's future. Beyond aircraft development, Area 51 was speculated to be the site of various experimental tests, including electronic warfare simulations and weapon systems evaluations. The exact boundaries of its current operations remain classified, but the base's legacy in adapting to technological trends from reconnaissance drones to aerospace weaponry demonstrates its enduring role. One tragic truth seldom discussed is the human cost of these projects. Test pilots operating experimental and highly dangerous aircraft risked their lives daily. Several fatalities occurred, and many pilot sacrifices went unrecognized publicly, a somber reminder of the dangers accompanying pioneering aviation work. The evolution of Area 51 symbolizes a relentless push to innovate at the edge of possibility. Driven by the imperatives of the Cold War and continuing geopolitical tensions, its expansion illustrates not just physical infrastructure, but a complex orchestration of secrecy, scientific brilliance, and covert operations that still fuel global intrigue today. Area 51's mystique continues to evolve, driven by a combination of advances in technology, unyielding government secrecy, and ever-growing public fascination. Despite partial declassifications and increased transparency about its existence and past programs, much of the base's current operations remain classified, making it a perennial subject of speculation and conspiracy. In recent decades, the activities at Area 51 have expanded beyond the testing of high-altitude reconnaissance planes to include cutting-edge experiments in drone technology, stealth capabilities, electronic warfare, and potentially next-generation aerospace vehicles. Aviation historian Jim Goodall has reported that sources connected to the base hinted at ongoing projects involving technologies better than science fiction, including aircraft with flight and stealth capabilities far surpassing what is publicly known. High-resolution satellite imagery has provided the public with unprecedented glimpses of the installation's changing infrastructure, revealing expanded hangars, extended runways stretching several miles, and numerous support facilities. However, thick security protocols continue to prevent detailed knowledge of many ground operations and airborne tests. Remote sensing technologies monitor traffic and activity around the base's perimeter, reinforcing its reputation as a fortress of secrecy. A remarkable aspect of Area 51 today is its status as a symbol bridging reality and myth. While the government has acknowledged the site primarily as a test range for classified military aircraft, rumors persist about extraterrestrial technology, reverse engineering, recovered UFO debris, and even alien occupants being studied on site. Whispers of black triangles and other mysterious aerial phenomena have continued to fuel a strong counterculture narrative around the facility. These stories are not entirely without foundation in the sense that many experimental aircraft tested at Groom Lake exhibit flight profiles and characteristics that would astonish average observers. Stealth technologies, for example, effectively render aircraft invisible to radar systems, while design innovations allow supersonic speeds combined with near invisibility. Observers from nearby towns have occasionally reported bizarre lights that do not fit conventional explanations, likely linked to these secretive aircraft. The nexus of advanced technology and impenetrable secrecy at Area 51 invites ongoing intrigue. The base is guarded not only physically but electronically, with detection systems designed to counter unauthorized drones, aircraft, and even satellite surveillance to some degree. The surrounding restricted airspace extends for tens of thousands of square kilometers, limiting civilian flight paths and adding an extra layer of operational security. The community around Area 51, particularly the small town of Rachel, Nevada, has embraced its proximity to this secretive hub. It is known as the heart of tourism related to UFO myths, with festivals, themed establishments, and vibrant folklore reflecting the merging of official secrecy and popular imagination. Area 51 also figures prominently in popular media, from television series and documentaries to blockbuster films, further amplifying the cultural mythology. These depictions often blend factual history with speculative fiction, contributing to the site's layered identity as both a highly advanced military facility and a portal to the unknown. Looking ahead, experts speculate that technological advances may eventually reduce the need for secrecy around certain programs. However, the core military and intelligence missions of Area 51 will likely remain shrouded in confidentiality for decades to come. Analyst Jim Goodall has pointed to 2025 and beyond as a potential period when certain classified programs could be declassified due to executive order limits, possibly shedding light on some of the base's most guarded secrets. Nevertheless, barriers to transparency are high. Enhanced ground and aerial security measures have tightened around Area 51, making unauthorized observation increasingly difficult. The veil of secrecy is arguably thicker than ever, a testament to the base's critical ongoing role in safeguarding national security interests. Meanwhile, fascination with Area 51 continues to inspire widespread speculation, debate, and search for truth, affirming its position as one of the most enduring enigmas in the modern age. This latest chapter in Area 51's history underscores an enduring tension between technological progress, hidden behind security walls, and the human thirst to uncover mysteries, an interplay that continues shaping the base's identity well into the 21st century. Area 51's long-standing reputation as the U.S. military's ultimate secret base hasn't waned with the decades. Far from being a relic of Cold War espionage, it remains at the forefront of aerial and defense innovation, continuously evolving with advancements in aviation technology and national security priorities in 2025 and beyond. Today, information confirmed through declassified documents and credible insider accounts confirms that Area 51 operates primarily as a flight testing facility for classified aircraft and weapon systems. It functions under the jurisdiction of the United States Air Force, managed as a component of Edwards Air Force Base in California. The installation is situated inside the vast Nevada Test and Training Range, NTTR, a massive complex of some 2.9 million acres established to support exercises and research in conditions that simulate combat environments. Despite its continued classified status, a closer scrutiny of satellite imagery reveals significant changes illustrating Area 51's modernization. Multiple extended runways now serve a wide array of craft, from traditional manned interceptors to experimental unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, otherwise known as drones. Vast hangars and maintenance compounds support these operations alongside advanced sensor arrays designed to monitor surrounding airspace meticulously. The U.S. government maintains strict exclusion zones around Area 51, with restricted airspace extending over thousands of square miles. Authorization for entry into this airspace is tightly controlled, enforced by sophisticated radar systems and response teams with orders to intercept or deter any unauthorized presence. Aside from these official designations, the base has become the subject of widespread assumptions. One of the most prevalent theories traces Area 51 to secret government efforts to reverse engineer alien technology purportedly recovered from unidentified flying objects. These conspiracy theories trace their roots to the late 1980s and early 1990s when individuals such as Bob Lazar claimed to have worked at a secret site close to or within Area 51, describing alien spacecraft and extraterrestrial experiments, even as Lazar's claims were widely discredited in official sources. They fueled a culture within the public imagination that the U.S. government's secretive operations at Area 51 extended far beyond aircraft, touching on the paranormal and extraterrestrial. This public fascination was amplified by popular media from science fiction movies to documentaries and internet culture, firmly embedding Area 51 in global popular culture as a nexus of conspiracies. Notably, media reports and some intelligence disclosures have suggested the Pentagon intentionally allowed or even engineered some widely publicized UFO conspiracy theories to serve as a smokescreen, protecting sensitive pilot programs and classified weapons development from prying eyes. Modern-day activities at Area 51 reportedly encompass electronic warfare systems, development of hypersonic aircraft concepts, and testing integrated drone swarm technologies. Automated unmanned aircraft teams designed for coordinated offensive or defensive military maneuvers. Official flight logs and records indicate a diversification of aircraft tested over the last 2 decades, including stealth bombers, next-generation reconnaissance platforms, and experimental propulsion systems that push the envelope of what was previously thought possible. Perhaps one of the most closely guarded subjects is the evolution of black aerospace projects. Those run under utmost secrecy without public acknowledgement for years or decades. Area 51's infrastructure and operational logistics are tailored to maintain impenetrable cover stories for these programs. Employees and contractors live and work under strict non-disclosure agreements, with limited access to even adjacent work areas to preserve compartmentalization. Surrounding the base, the cultural location has adapted to support this mix of advanced technology and mystery. The Nevada Extraterrestrial Highway caters to tourists, enthusiasts, and the curious, fueling a niche economy based on souvenirs, UFO lore, and guided tours highlighting key points of interest in the region, all while maintaining respect for the base's official off-limits status. The anticipation of 2025's rumored declassification of some Area 51 secrets has stirred public intrigue. While no official government confirmation has anticipated a massive reveal, leaked statements hint at scheduled disclosures related to past programs, possibly easing some historical enigmas while continuing to preserve the confidentiality of current research. As of 2025, Area 51 remains a dynamic fusion of cutting-edge aerospace development and tightly controlled secrecy. It functions as a vital node in American defense strategy, quietly shaping the country's ability to adapt to emerging aerial threats and advancing technology on a constantly evolving frontier. As we move deeper into the 21st century, Area 51 remains the epitome of classified military innovation, continuing to spark curiosity and speculation around the world. Despite the passage of decades, very little concrete information about current activities at the base has surfaced publicly, but combining satellite imagery, declassified documents, credible insider accounts, and government disclosures, a clearer picture of its ongoing role begins to emerge. Officially, Area 51 functions as a flight test center and research facility for classified U.S. Air Force programs. It operates as part of the Nevada Test and Training Range (NTTR), a sprawling military area that supports various experimentation including defense systems and advanced aviation technologies. Due to the sensitive nature of the projects, the base remains inaccessible to civilians and even most military personnel without specific clearance. Its airspace is among the most restricted in the world, enforced by radar installations and rapid response security forces, In recent years, ongoing technological developments at Area 51 are believed to align with the broader trend toward unmanned aerial systems, UAS, hypersonic vehicles, and sophisticated electronic warfare platforms. There are strong indications that the site serves as a primary location for testing next-generation drones with unprecedented capabilities, including swarming behavior, stealth modes, and autonomous decision-making. Such programs are crucial for modern combat scenarios where aerial dominance relies on precise, rapid, and networked responses. Beyond drones, Area 51 likely supports the development of hypersonic aircraft, vehicles capable of traveling at more than 5 times the speed of sound. These technologies challenge engineering limits and redefine strategic military advantage by combining speed, stealth, and maneuverability to evade detection and interception. The base's isolated environment offers the perfect conditions to safely test these advanced aircraft away from prying eyes and foreign intelligence. While specific details of ongoing programs are scarce, it is plausible that Area 51 also experiments with cutting-edge propulsion systems. Research into electromagnetic propulsion, directed energy weapons, and material science likely benefits substantially from the base's extensive testing facilities and scientific talent pool. Such initiatives are intended not only to maintain U.S. aerospace superiority, but to open avenues of technological innovation with potential civilian and defense applications. The surrounding airspace, known as R-408N, remains among the most closely monitored in the United States, reflecting the base's continued strategic value. Civilian and unauthorized flights within sections of the airspace face enforcement actions, demonstrating the priority placed on security. Interestingly, modern Area 51 also plays a psychological and cultural role. Government agencies have reportedly allowed or even encouraged UFO mythology tied to the base as a deliberate distraction, obfuscating real weapons developments from foreign intelligence. This strategy reflects a sophisticated approach to operational security, leveraging misinformation and public fascination as a form of counterintelligence. In terms of community impact, towns like Rachel, Nevada, thrive on Area 51's notoriety. This small desert outpost has transformed into a tourist attraction, capitalizing on the base's aura with themed museums, events, and informal UFO festivals that blend entertainment and folklore. Local entrepreneurs have crafted a unique economy sustained largely by the base's silhouette cast against the cultural imagination. Looking to the future, speculation about what revelations might emerge or remain suppressed in the coming years fuels ongoing intrigue. Some experts suggest that 2025 could be a watershed moment, as certain long-classified programs potentially reach automatic declassification deadlines, set under presidential executive orders. Such releases, if they occur, could unveil decades-old technology development, while leaving the latest advancements under wraps. Despite this, the core principle of absolute secrecy at Area 51 endures. Advances in surveillance technologies have improved perimeter defense, and high-resolution satellite imaging, while accessible to the public, reveals only facility layouts without revealing operational details. Inside, the base continues as a crucible for experimental aviation and tech that will define the next era of defense capabilities. In sum, Area 51 in 2025 remains a complex intersection of cutting-edge secret technology and unparalleled secrecy, preserving a reality that fuels myth while shaping the future of aerospace and military innovation. Area 51 is widely regarded as one of the most secure and heavily guarded locations on Earth. In 2025, the base represents more than just a remote military installation. It is effectively a fortress designed to keep the secrets within both physically and electronically, a protective shell that has evolved and strengthened over the decades to meet modern challenges. Its position in the Nevada desert offers natural isolation, But this alone is insufficient to deter curious onlookers or prevent potential espionage attempts. To safeguard decades of technological advancements in classified operations, the military employs an extensive, multi-layered security apparatus designed to protect against intrusion attempts from land, air, and potentially even space-based surveillance. One fundamental element of Area 51's security infrastructure is its vast perimeter, nearly impossible to fence in its entirety due to the sheer expansiveness of surrounding restricted land. Instead, security relies heavily on advanced technology. A network of buried seismic motion sensors is strategically installed, capable of detecting footsteps or vehicle movement kilometers outside the main base boundary. These sensors instantly alert the base's security teams to any unauthorized approach. Augmenting this are stationary and mobile surveillance systems. Ultra-high-resolution cameras surveil key vantage points, with intelligent video analytics software continuously scanning for any unusual activity or unauthorized presence. Drones, patrol helicopters, and ground forces work in tandem, equipped to respond rapidly to alerts with swift interception maneuvers. Guard patrols, known colloquially as the Camo Dudes, remain a visible and intimidating presence. These personnel are universally equipped with advanced communications gear, body armor, and high-caliber firearms authorized to be used with lethal force should a threat materialize. Their ability to monitor vast stretches of desert terrain, both day and night, ensures uninterrupted vigilance. Security protocols manifest in rigorous checkpoints at the base's multiple entry gates. All personnel entering the facility undergo thorough identity verification, including biometric scans and background checks, enforced by privately contracted security firms working in direct coordination with the Air Force. Vehicles are subject to inspection, and no electronic devices or photographic equipment are permitted without special clearance. The airspace over and around Area 51 is designated the Nevada Test and Training Range, Restricted Area R48N, a no-fly zone with one of the most tightly managed access controls in the country. Even commercial aircraft routing in the region are strictly prohibited from trespassing, with unauthorized incursions met by aggressive interception and escort protocols often invisible to civilian radar systems. Further complicating surveillance efforts against the base's patrols are electronic countermeasures deployed to detect and potentially neutralize drones or remote sensors operated by civilians, journalists, or foreign intelligence agencies. In recent years, there have been news reports of unidentified fast-moving drones spotted near the perimeter which, while never confirmed to be connected with espionage, highlight ongoing challenges of monitoring remote but technologically advanced sites. Despite this intense security, the vastness of the landscape beyond the immediate base allows for occasional glimpses of mysterious activity, brief flashes of light, unexplainable sound phenomena, or small aircraft darting in and out of restricted airspace before disappearing into the desert sky. The interaction between military enforcement and local law enforcement is also a key aspect of security. Lincoln County Sheriff's deputies routinely arrest trespassers who attempt to get closer to the base, often citing them for significant fines for crossing into federal property. Area 51's remote location has cultivated a community tolerant of curiosity, but respectful of the base's boundaries, as the threat of serious consequences looms for attempts at unauthorized access. Behind the scenes, cybersecurity measures complement physical security. With the advent of advanced cyber espionage threats, Area 51's digital networks use multi-layered encryption, air-gap systems disconnected from public internet, and continuous monitoring to ensure that sensitive project details remain protected from external hacking attempts. Known only to a privileged few, these cyber defenses stand as the final barrier guarding some of America's most prized military secrets. In sum, in 2025, Area 51 functions not only as a site of technological innovation, but as a demonstration of best-in-class security architecture, an advanced multi-domain fortress, combining human vigilance with cutting-edge electronic systems. This carefully layered security fabric is essential to preserve the integrity of the classified operations that define the base's enduring role within U.S. national defense. Beyond the shroud of secrecy and high-tech intrigue surrounding Area 51 lies a significant but less discussed dimension of its existence: the environmental and human health impact produced by decades of intense military and aerospace activity in the Nevada desert. Area 51 is situated in the arid, fragile ecosystem of the Tonopah Basin, where the famous dry salt flat called Groom Lake serves as the foundation for the airfield. While the vast open space and remoteness made it ideal for secret testing, it also created conditions for environmental vulnerabilities, as hazardous materials were extensively used and mishandled over the years. Unsurprisingly, the secretive nature of operations at Area 51 extended to environmental oversight during the Cold War and beyond. Large quantities of toxic chemicals, including volatile organic compounds, dioxins, and heavy metals, were used in aircraft maintenance, fuel storage and testing, and disposal operations. Some of these substances were reportedly burned in open pits or trenches, releasing hazardous smoke and byproducts into the desert air. In 1994, a landmark lawsuit brought by civilian contractors and the widows of deceased workers shed light on this overlooked legacy. They alleged that exposure to hazardous chemicals at Groom Lake had caused serious health conditions, including respiratory illnesses, cancers, and other chronic diseases. Medical analyses revealed elevated levels of toxins such as trichloroethylene and dibenzofuran in the plaintiff's body tissues. Their legal action accused the Air Force of negligent handling of toxic waste and the Environmental Protection Agency of failing to enforce regulations. The case exposed a disturbing tension. While environmental laws were in place, they were frequently overridden by national security claims. The federal government invoked national security privileges to block document disclosures, citing that revealing details of contamination might jeopardize ongoing classified programs. Due to these conflicts, a presidential determination was issued exempting Area 51 operations near Groom Lake from environmental regulations, effectively exempting the facility from the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act. This decision legally shielded the military from certain public disclosure and cleanup responsibilities, and remains controversial. Besides health concerns related to chemical exposure, decades of atmospheric testing nearby, particularly at the adjacent Nevada test site's Yucca Flat, added radiological risks through nuclear weapons testing fallout. Though not part of Area 51 operational scope, the geographical proximity and shared ecosystem link the two sites in complex ways, causing long-term ecological concerns for surrounding flora, fauna, and human populations. Despite the government's long-standing silence on ecological matters, environmental scientists and activists continue to push for increased transparency and remediation. The base's exemption from typical environmental reviews complicates assessment and cleanup efforts, leaving many questions about the full extent of contamination unanswered. The military continues to assert that it complies with applicable environmental policies while balancing mission-critical operations. However, independent studies by universities and organizations occasionally find lingering contamination that may affect groundwater quality and wildlife habitats. Local communities have mixed feelings. On one hand, they recognize the economic significance of government contracts and activity in the region. On the other, they remain concerned about long-term health repercussions and environmental integrity. The paradox of Area 51 persists, a site of technological marvel and national security that simultaneously stands as a symbol of environmental oversight challenges. Its mystery extends beyond high-tech experimentation to to encompass unquantified human and ecological costs that remain part of the story's untold chapters. As government transparency advances incrementally, ongoing dialogue between science, policy, and advocacy seeks to uncover the full impact of decades spent testing secret military technologies amidst an evolving desert ecosystem. No discussion of Area 5V1 is complete without examining the myriad conspiracy theories that swirl around this infamous military installation. The site itself is a nexus where clandestine military experimentation meets the human tendency to explain the unexplained, resulting in a rich tapestry of beliefs, rumors, and myths that have evolved over 70 years and continue to evolve in 2025. Area 51's association with UFOs and extraterrestrials traces its roots to the Cold War era, when secretive aircraft like the U-2 and later the F-17 Nighthawk appeared in the skies but were hidden from public acknowledgement. Local observers and pilots reported strange aerial phenomena, high altitude, uncommonly shaped craft performing incredible maneuvers. Official denials and secrecy only fueled speculation. The most prominent figure to propel the alien conspiracy narrative came in 1989 with Bob Lazar's sensational claims. Lazar alleged he worked at a site near Area 51 called S4, where he claimed to have seen and reverse-engineered alien spacecraft, witnessed autopsies on extraterrestrials, and dealt with alien technology. While many investigators discredited Lazar's account, citing inconsistencies and lack of evidence, his story captured the public's imagination and became a foundational pillar of Area 51 lore. Conspiracy theories encompass a wide range of ideas, from the government concealing the crash of a flying saucer near Roswell in 1947 and hiding alien bodies at Area 51, to secret experiments with reverse-engineered alien propulsion systems. Other theories speculate about the base housing underground tunnels, teleportation research, mind control experiments, or even clandestine collaborations with extraterrestrial visitors. Significantly, recently declassified information and investigative journalism have revealed that some UFO and alien conspiracy theories were deliberately fueled by elements within the U.S. military and intelligence agencies. During the 1980s and beyond, Pentagon officials and CIA operatives reportedly planted false documents, fabricated encounters, and promoted false stories about alien technology located at Area 51. These disinformation campaigns served a calculated purpose: to cloak secret projects like the stealth fighter program F-117 Nighthawk, by diverting public and foreign intelligence attention toward UFO folklore. According to a Department of Defense investigation reported in 2025, a military colonel once visited a bar near Area 51, giving fake photos of flying saucers to color local rumor mills, an act designed to embed myths protecting national security interests. This deliberate misinformation effectively constructed some of the most widespread UFO legends and inadvertently contributed to the base's mythical reputation worldwide. Furthermore, activities inside the base, such as the testing of highly advanced and unconventional aircraft, produce optical phenomena confusing to untrained observers. Illusory light reflections, sonic booms, and strange flight paths can easily be misidentified as something otherworldly, especially under low visibility conditions. The modern UFO/UAP unidentified aerial phenomena debate also folds Area 51 into a broader context. The Pentagon's establishment of programs like the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO, and the release of classified reports have reignited public interest in aerial phenomena, with Area 51 remaining a focal point in the public discourse about what military and intelligence agencies are monitoring and investigating. On online platforms, in popular documentaries, and through social media, Area 51 conspiracy theories evolve continually. New claims of secret towers, tunnels, experimental aircraft, and alien collaborations emerge regularly, fueled by satellite imagery leaks, anonymized insider accounts, and broad public fascination. Despite heavy skepticism by military officials and aerospace experts, the cultural gravity of these theories is undeniable. They speak to deeper societal questions about government transparency, technological limits, and the very nature of human exploration of the unknown. In summary, the web of conspiracy theories surrounding Area 51 is vast and evolving. They intertwine Cold War history, classified aerospace innovation, deliberate disinformation campaigns, and enduring human curiosity into a captivating narrative that goes well beyond the base's physical boundaries. This continuing narrative about Area 51 explores its complicated legacy as both a profound scientific and military asset and a mythic symbol standing at the crossroads of truth, secrecy, and speculation in 2025. Area 51's aura of mystery transcends its role as a clandestine military base, evolving into a cultural icon intertwined with modes of storytelling, entertainment, and internet folklore. Its journey from an officially unacknowledged military test site to a global symbol of extraterrestrial conspiracies is both fascinating and multifaceted. In the decades following World War II, Area 51 became shorthand for government secrecy and speculative rumors about UFOs. Early representations in science fiction cinema and literature often portrayed the base as a repository for alien spacecraft, or as the stage for covert experiments. At times praised, at other times feared, films such as Independence Day significantly cemented these associations in public imagination, depicting Area 51 as a hub of alien contact and defense operations. The allure grew stronger after Bob Lazar's 1989 revelations, infusing popular culture with narratives of alien technology and visitation. Lazar's story resurfaced globally in 2018 through a popular documentary and an influential interview with comedian Joe Rogan, reigniting interest and speculation. These narratives penetrated mainstream media, blurring lines between conspiracy theory, entertainment, and genuine government inquiry. Area 51 reached unprecedented digital age visibility with the Storm Area 51 They Can't Stop All of Us event, a Facebook-driven movement planned for September 2019. What began as a humorous social media post rapidly morphed into a viral phenomenon attracting millions of RSVPs within days. The event galvanized a diverse group of individuals, UFO believers, meme enthusiasts, skeptical observers, and adventure seekers into a collective cultural moment. While the actual turnout was modest, the event spotlighted the collective power of internet culture in shaping discourse around mysterious subjects. The resulting gatherings nearby included Alien Stock, a festival celebrating UFO lore with music and community events, further blending entertainment, curiosity, and activism. At the core of Area 51's cultural evolution is meme culture, which uses visual humor and symbolism to process and spread complex narratives in accessible ways. Memes about storming the base referenced a mix of rebellion against governmental secrecy and playful engagement with alien conspiracy themes. These both reflected and influenced public perceptions, creating two competing narratives, one optimistic about uncovering hidden truths and one cautioning about danger and futility. Famous personalities and celebrities played pivotal roles in framing Area 51's cultural meaning. Actors from science fiction franchises lent their voices and presence to support the surge in popular interest, thereby legitimizing the phenomenon in mainstream culture. The cultural iconography extends beyond online platforms. Documentaries, feature films, books, and TV series delve into Area 51's secretive operations, blending fact, fiction, and speculative storytelling. This media presence perpetuates Area 51's status as an enduring symbol of the unknown, government secrecy, and extraterrestrial mystery. The cultural magnetism of Area 51 is underscored by its function as a narrative canvas, one where individuals and communities negotiate their relationship with authority, science, and the unexplained. It reflects a broader societal hunger for mystery, the allure of secret knowledge, and the perennial question of mankind's place in the universe. In 2025, Area 51 remains a vibrant point of intersection between cutting-edge aerospace technology and the vast terrain of cultural mythology. Its story continues to be written, not just in secret hangars and classified documents, but in the collective imagination, nourished by media, memes, and unyielding human curiosity. Area 51 continues to be an essential element within the United States defense apparatus, maintaining a high profile while veiled role in shaping the future of aerospace technology and national security in the present day. Administered as part of Edwards Air Force Base in California, the base resides within the Nevada Test and Training Range, an expansive military reservation spanning millions of acres, where advanced testing, training, and development occur. This vast and barren desert setting provides the ideal environment for experiments, away from civilian purview and foreign intelligence. While official information remains sparse, recent credible reports, satellite imagery, and slowly emerging disclosures provide hints about ongoing activities thanks to investigative journalists and former insiders. The base is known to be one of the United States' foremost locations for testing black projects, highly classified military and aerospace initiatives that remain shielded even within governmental circles. The core known purpose continues to be flight testing and development of next-generation aircraft. These include ultra-high-speed reconnaissance drones, hypersonic test vehicles capable of exceeding Mach 5, and advanced stealth technology-based manned aircraft that push the limits of radar invisibility and electronic warfare capabilities. Area 51 also serves as a logistics hub for transport and assembly of this advanced equipment. The arrival and departure of discreetly numbered charter flights remain a hallmark, operated under tight security and often linked with the Pentagon's secretive transport fleet known colloquially as Janet Airlines. These operations exemplify meticulous planning designed to maintain confidentiality while allowing swift movement of personnel and materials. In 2025, focus also reportedly extends to experimental propulsion systems that may include electromagnetic or plasma-based drives, which could revolutionize flight dynamics beyond what traditional jet propulsion allows. Despite the prevailing secrecy, there have been murmurs of environmental initiatives within the base efforts to modernize facilities, to include sustainable energy sources, and to mitigate the environmental footprint that decades of intensive operations have accumulated. Area 51 remains strictly off-limits to the public, surrounded by layers of physical security, unattended surveillance systems, aggressive patrols by armed guards known as the Camo Dudes, and complex electronic defenses that monitor and control the vast airspace overhead. Continued rumors and conspiracy theories claim the existence of subterranean complexes, alien technology, reverse engineering, and unofficial collaboration with extraterrestrial entities. While no concrete evidence supports these extraordinary claims, the persistent secrecy keeps these theories alive in public and popular culture. Of particular cultural significance in 2025 is the potential official declassification of certain projects, as leaked interviews with former staff and journalists suggest that top-secret programs might be revealed in certain categories. Aviation expert Jim Goodall once remarked that decades of developments have been locked away until around this year, implicating that a new era of transparency or carefully controlled disclosure could emerge soon. However, even this limited transparency is likely to exclude many current and future projects, as strategic military interests and technological advantages remain tightly guarded. Area 51's pivotal role in 2025 represents not only a legacy of Cold War aviation breakthroughs, but also a living and evolving crucible of innovation. It feeds into larger networks of military readiness, international security competition, and the defense industry's cutting edge. This part acknowledges Area 51's continuing evolution and significance in contemporary defense technology, offering unique insight into its operations and cultural role in 2025. Area 51's imposing presence in the Nevada desert impacts not only military technology and national security, but also the fragile environment surrounding Groom Lake and the wider Tonopah Basin. The relationship between the secretive base and its natural ecosystem is complex, filled with contradictions between cutting-edge aerospace development and the physical realities of sustaining desert life. The base itself occupies a salt flat known as Groom Lake, a naturally occurring dry lake bed spanning roughly 6 by 10 miles, surrounded by rugged hills and desert valleys. This unique geography shaped the base's construction because its flat, hard ground provides natural runways for experimental aircraft, while remote surroundings minimize risk to civilians and ensure secrecy. However, decades of military operations have introduced environmental stresses. Maintenance and testing of aircraft require the use of various industrial chemicals and fuel types. Historically, some hazardous materials were burned openly in trenches or pits, including solvents, jet fuel residues, and compounds later confirmed to include carcinogens such as trichloroethylene and dioxins. These practices led to significant contamination risks for local air quality, soil integrity, and underground water reserves. In 1994, a lawsuit brought by former contractors exposed some of these environmental hazards, accusing the Air Force and Environmental Protection Agency of withholding vital information related to toxic exposure. Scientific studies of tissue biopsies from these individuals revealed alarming levels of harmful chemicals, connecting health problems directly to their work conditions near Groom Lake. The legal battle brought environmental oversight of Area 51 to public attention for the first time. Nevertheless, the U.S. government invoked national security to limit disclosure, ultimately exempting the base from many environmental regulations, citing operational necessity. This exemption remains a contentious political and ethical issue, with critics asserting that such secrecy should not come at the expense of human or environmental health protections. Moreover, Area 51 borders the Yucca Flat region of the larger Nevada test site, where hundreds of nuclear detonations occurred between the 1950s and 1990s. Fallout from these tests introduced radioactive and chemical contaminants affecting the broader ecosystem. While these operations are administratively separate, their geographic and environmental proximity interlink Area 51 in a regional history of military activity with ecological consequences. Despite these challenges, the desert ecosystem persists and adapts. Native species including desert tortoises, kit foxes, and various reptiles survive in the harsh conditions surrounding Area 51. The Tonopah Basin's flora consists of shrubs, cacti, and hardy grasses specially adapted to limited rainfall and extreme temperature fluctuations. To maintain some ecological balance, recent efforts reportedly focus on mitigating contamination and adopting environmental policies, when feasible. These include establishing waste management protocols, monitoring groundwater for pollutants, and limiting emissions when possible. However, much of these initiatives remain classified or minimally disclosed to the public. The juxtaposition of advanced military testing and desert ecology creates a narrative about the costs of national security, while the U.S. maintains aerial supremacy and technological edge. The environment and the people living in the region pay a modest but lasting price. Local towns near Area 51, such as Rachel and Alamo, Nevada, have mixed relationships with the base. Economically, they benefit somewhat from the presence of military personnel and tourism linked to Area 51's legend. Culturally, these towns embrace the mythology as part of their identity, promoting what is known as the extraterrestrial highway, a stretch popular with visitors fascinated by UFO lore. These economies, however, remain vulnerable to shifts in military activities. Efforts by environmental advocacy groups to increase transparency and demand cleanup face often insurmountable barriers due to the government's national security claims. The tension between secrecy and environmental responsibility remains unresolved and underscores the broader challenges of managing protected natural areas intertwined with classified military operations. In sum, Area 51's environmental footprint reflects a complex entanglement of historic military activity, secrecy-driven exemptions, human health concerns, and delicate desert ecology, a narrative extending the mystique of the base beyond high-tech tests into the realm of ecological stewardship and social justice. Area 51's reputation as a fortress of secrecy is grounded in some of the most sophisticated security and surveillance measures ever implemented at a military installation. In 2025, the combination of advanced technology, strategic geography, and rigorous human protocols converged to make it nearly impervious to unauthorized intrusion, contributing significantly to its mystique and operational integrity. The base spans millions of acres in southern Nevada, surrounded by a natural buffer of barren desert and mountainous terrain that facilitates early detection and deterrence of trespassers. This expansive perimeter is monitored by a layered defense architecture combining electronic, physical, and procedural elements designed to maintain airtight control. At the forefront of perimeter security are high-sensitivity motion detectors embedded underground, capable of differentiating between wildlife, weather phenomena, and human or vehicular incursions. These sensors relay instant alerts to security command centers staffed round the clock, enabling rapid deployment of security teams. Visual surveillance is omnipresent. State-of-the-art infrared and thermal imaging cameras cover all approaches, integrated with AI-driven analytics to identify movements and behaviors outside of expected patterns. These technologies allow operators to sift through vast amounts of data and focus attention on legitimate threats, minimizing false alarms. Response forces, colloquially known as camo dudes, are trained tactical teams equipped with advanced communications, GPS, and lethal weaponry. Their patrols utilize rugged vehicles such as armored SUVs and stealth surveillance drones, granting mobility across unforgiving desert terrain at day or night. Their presence alone deters unauthorized attempts to breach the baselines. Airspace security adds an elevated layer of complexity. The restricted airspace enveloping Area 51, coded as R408N, is one of the most heavily controlled zones globally, extending hundreds of miles in all directions. Civilian aircraft are forbidden from entering, and even military pilots undergo detailed clearance procedures to approach or traverse nearby airspace. Radar systems capable of detecting even the smallest drone or slow-moving aircraft continuously monitor the skies. Electronic warfare capabilities are integral to the defense schema. Sophisticated signal jamming, anti-drone technology, and cyber defenses prohibit foreign or incidental surveillance, ensuring that real-time operational data and experimental aircraft movements remain concealed from satellites, hacker groups, or foreign intelligence reconnaissance. Access control to Area 51 itself is heavily regimented. The entry points are guarded by dual-level inspections requiring multi-factor authentication, including biometric scanning and cryptographic access credentials. Personnel must hold top secret security clearances, often compartmented so employees access only the information necessary for their specific tasks, a classic principle of need to know. Ground routes leading to the base are sparsely marked with warning signs that cite use of deadly force authorized. Trespassers arrested near the perimeter are prosecuted rigorously, reflecting the government's zero-tolerance policy. Nearby Lincoln County law enforcement coordinates closely with federal agencies to manage security integrity. Although Area 51's physical security is formidable, the base also pioneers integrated surveillance technologies that set standards globally. Research in sensor fusion, AI analytics, and autonomous security systems frequently integrates lessons learned from operational experiences here into broader military and civilian security applications. The elevated level of security also creates challenges, fueling persistent conspiracies and fueling public curiosity. The impenetrable nature reframes Area 51 from a mere military test site into an almost mythical entity, symbolic of the tensions between transparency and secrecy inherent in national defense. In 2025, guarding Area 51 requires balancing openness for strategic alliances and maintaining absolute confidentiality for technological advantage. The very ethos that has defined the base since its inception. It stands as a testament to the evolution of security in an age increasingly dominated by not only physical threats, but also cyber and electronic warfare domains. This comprehensive exploration of Area 51's security approach highlights a complex interplay of technology, personnel, policies, and environmental factors required to protect America's most sensitive aerospace and defense secrets from ever-present risks. For decades, Area 51 has stood as an impenetrable fortress guarding America's most secretive aviation projects and top-secret military technologies. In recent years, especially leading into 2025, speculation has been mounting around the possibility that some of these guarded secrets will finally emerge from the shadows of classified silence into public knowledge, offering a tantalizing glimpse into what really transpires behind the restricted fences of Groom Lake. This anticipation has roots in interviews with former Area 51 insiders and aviation experts dating back decades. In a 1999 discussion, aviation historian Jim Goodall revealed conversations with sources who worked at the base, suggesting that critical classified programs would remain undisclosed until 2025. These programs, described as hostile to conventional understanding of aerospace technology, triggered worldwide interest as the seemingly distant date approached. The significance of 2025 and the possibility of official disclosure of advanced aerospace projects arises from inherent limits placed on the duration of classification. U.S. executive orders typically set maximum periods after which certain programs may be declassified, whether by predetermined timelines or political decisions, opening the door for historical revelations. One area primed for disclosure is the long-awaited acknowledgement of covert aircraft development like the U-2, A-12 Oxcart, and F-17 Nighthawk stealth programs. While these aircraft were once hidden in darkness, over the years their existence and design features have been gradually declassified. The full extent of their testing and evolution, including operational secrets surrounding their design and mission profiles, may provide rich historical context when documents are finally released. Beyond aircraft, there are rumors of breakthroughs in propulsion systems, electronic warfare, and potentially exotic technologies previously dismissed as science fiction. Though these whispers teeter between hope and skepticism, they add an element of excitement and mystery to the prospect of forthcoming disclosures. Experts emphasize that a potential wave of information unveiling Area 51's past must be understood through measured critical lenses. Not all revelations will relate to alien spacecraft or secret government experiments with extraterrestrial entities, despite enduring public fascination with such theories. Instead, disclosures are more likely to focus on tangible, earthly military science achievements that have been developed in extreme secrecy, in parallel with official disclosures. The military and intelligence agencies are expected to continue rigorous secrecy surrounding ongoing projects, critical to current national defense strategy. Thus, institutions will likely navigate a delicate balance between transparency and protecting technologies that remain essential in a competitive global security environment. Public excitement and media attention have surged in response to leaked interviews, archival document releases, and growing government efforts to address unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, openly, aiming to distinguish genuine security concerns from folklore. Furthermore, this moment in time marks a cultural turning point. Area 51 transcends conventional military significance to symbolize broader societal questions about government transparency, the limits of scientific knowledge, and the persistent allure of mystery itself. As 2025 unfolds, the world watches with anticipation, poised to receive perhaps the most detailed, official account of Area 51's history and contributions since its emergence in the Cold War. Regardless of what is revealed, the narratives and images surrounding the base's secretive past will continue to fuel discourse, innovation, and imagination in the decades ahead. In 2025, Area 51 stands at a crossroads of historical significance and modern military advancement. But it is also a paradox, a site whose real purpose often gets obscured by decades of rumor, speculation, and cultural mythology. Peeling back the layers reveals a complex story grounded in aerospace innovation, strategic defense, and national security, far removed from the alien conspiracies many associate with it. Officially, Area 51 is a United States Air Force facility located at Groom Lake within the Nevada Test and Training Range. It operates primarily as a classified testing ground for experimental aircraft and weapon systems. With origins dating back to the 1950s, its key functions include pioneering top-secret aviation research, field testing new aerospace technologies, electronic warfare trials, and support for classified reconnaissance programs. This foundational purpose does not negate the base's unique place in cultural consciousness. The intense secrecy surrounding the facility, long before the CIA formally acknowledged its existence in 2013, triggered an aura of mystery. The combination of restricted airspace, specialized flights of unmarked craft, and local reports of unusual lights cast long shadows of suspicion and intrigue. The U.S. government's long-held policy was to neither confirm nor deny Area 51's specific operations, fueling suspicion by omission. However, partial official disclosures have gradually delineated its critical role in developing aircraft that shaped modern aerial warfare and reconnaissance. Notable programs like the U-2 high-altitude surveillance plane, the Mach 3 Plus A-12 OX cart, and the stealthy F-17 Nighthawk all trace key development phases to Area 51. Despite this, the official narrative remains tightly controlled, with the U.S. Air Force publicly framing Area 51 as an open training range and research facility. Deliberate misinformation campaigns during the Cold War era intentionally leveraged the UFO mythos to misdirect curiosity from royal advances in stealth aircraft programs. Meanwhile, public imagination unfailingly associates the base with extraterrestrial technology, reverse engineering of alien spacecraft, and contact with non-human intelligence. These narratives function as cultural counterpoints to the official story, blending skepticism, fascination, and distrust in government transparency. Into 2025, this dichotomy manifests in ongoing debates about transparency and secrecy. Government-sanctioned efforts to study unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, including the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO, have elevated dialogue about phenomena linked to Area 51's airspace, though without yielding concrete evidence of alien involvement. Notably, analyses of satellite images, declassified documents, and insider testimonies continue to confirm the base's status as a technological vanguard rather than an alien repository. The secrecy serves national security goals, but also inadvertently nurtures the cultural myths inseparable from the base's identity. Within this dynamic, Area 51's paradoxical position endures. It is simultaneously a pioneering scientific and military site vital to U.S. defense and an enduring symbol of mystery, suspicion, and hope for discovery beyond the known. As research into aerospace frontiers advances, and as classified programs face potential phase declassification, 2025 and the coming years represent an opportunity for clearer understanding. However, the allure of secrecy and enigma surrounding Area 51, compounded by social media and popular culture, ensures that the legend will persist as powerfully as ever. As the veil of secrecy over Area 51 thins, albeit gradually, 2025 sheds new light on the extraordinary scope of scientific and military endeavors hidden within Groom Lake's boundaries. Beyond public speculation and persistent myth, the base occupies a vital role at the nexus of advanced aerospace research, stealth technology development, and emerging defense innovations. One of the most significant facets of current Area 51 operations revolves around next-generation unmanned systems. The military's shift towards autonomous and remotely operated vehicles has positioned Area 51 as a hub for testing drone swarms, capable of coordinated flight, instant adaptability, and complex reconnaissance and combat interactions without human onboard control. Researchers and engineers reportedly push the boundaries of drone endurance, stealth, and payload delivery systems within restricted airspace. Building on legacy programs like the U-2 and SR-71, hypersonic flight programs also command intense focus. Hypersonic vehicles, those flying at speeds exceeding Mach 5, represent breakthroughs in rapid global strike capabilities. Area 51 provides vast uninhabited test corridors and specialized instrumentation to safely and secretly validate these high-speed platforms' aerodynamics and propulsion under operational conditions. Emerging stealth technologies also find their genesis at the facility. Breakthroughs in radar-absorbing materials, adaptive camouflage, and electronic countermeasures are part of continuous experimentations designed to reduce detectability across diverse spectrums including radar, infrared, and electromagnetic signals. These innovations ensure survivability and dominance in increasingly contested airspaces worldwide. Area 51's research extends into propulsion systems beyond jet and rocket engines. Some credible sources suggest investigation into alternative propulsion mechanisms, potentially electromagnetic or plasma-based, which could revolutionize flight and space travel. Though details are scarce and heavily restricted, such work aligns with the larger Pentagon ambition to achieve technological superiority in all domains. The base also serves as a training ground for specialized personnel tasked with pilot programs, drone operators, and electronic warfare specialists. Cutting-edge simulators and virtual reality systems immerse operators in complex scenario training, emphasizing stealth maneuvers, networked attacks, and rapid threat assessment. Maintaining operational security in such a high-stakes environment requires integration of cybersecurity measures, air-gapped networks, multi-factor authentication, encrypted communications, and real-time intrusion detection systems safeguard sensitive data from cyber threats and espionage. These cyber defenses form an essential layer of the base's protective envelope in the digital age. Satellite reconnaissance, often presumed a threat to secrecy, is partially mitigated by dynamic operational scheduling and the use of physical countermeasures, such as advanced stealth coatings and terrain masking techniques during test flights. Intelligence agencies constantly evaluate satellite imagery and use misinformation to mislead foreign analyses. Despite evolving technologies, human factors remain key. Test pilots and engineers continue to operate under intense pressure, pushing experimental platforms to the limits of physics, facing unparalleled risks, but contributing to breakthroughs essential for national defense. Importantly, in 2025, revelations from limited but official governmental disclosures assert Area 51's significance in preserving American aerospace leadership amid rising geopolitical challenges. Though alien conspiracy theories persist, solid evidence underscores the base as an epicenter of tangible scientific progress. This segment captures the high-technology pulse of Area 51 today, emphasizing how innovation, operational secrecy, and human expertise converge to maintain a crucial national asset, shaping the air and space power balance. Despite decades of intense speculation and curiosity, Area 51 remains one of the most secretive locations on Earth, steeped not only in technological mystery, but also in finely tuned information control strategies that carefully shape public understanding. In 2025, these layers of secrecy reveal both the necessity of protecting critical projects and the challenges inherent in cultivating national and international trust. The United States government initiated the first official acknowledgement of Area 51's existence only in 2013, when the CIA responded to a Freedom of Information Act request by releasing documents detailing the history of the U-2 and OX-CARD aircraft programs tested there. This watershed moment ended decades of denial, yet maintained strict limits on operational details, maintaining a wall of secrecy around ongoing endeavors. Operational security at Area 51 follows strict compartmentalization. Personnel are granted access strictly based on need to know, minimizing the dissemination of sensitive information even internally. This principle drastically reduces human error or leaks, creating multiple segmented bubbles of knowledge that prevent any single individual from having a complete picture of the base's full scope. The physical manifestation of this approach includes rigorous security clearances, biometric authentication, and non-disclosure agreements signed by employees and contractors. Training programs emphasize secrecy culture, underscoring that breaches can lead to heavy legal penalties. From the public communication angle, the military uses a combination of disinformation, controlled narratives, and occasionally deliberate misdirection concerning reported aerial phenomena or unexplained sightings. For example, in the 1980s, Pentagon officials reportedly seeded alien-related rumors to deflect attention from stealth aircraft testing. The government balances strategic silence with carefully timed releases of sanitized information, such as satellite images with reduced resolution, or summaries of historical programs, to manage public perception and international intelligence assessment without risking operational setbacks. Media coverage of Area 51 fluctuates between official acknowledgement and speculative sensationalism. While respected journalists receive limited briefings under embargo, much popular coverage remains fueled by anonymous sources, conspiracy forums, or leaked imagery, sustaining a persistent tension between fact and fiction. In recent years, online platforms have amplified curiosity and misinformation alike. Rapid dissemination of unauthorized drone footage, satellite photographs, and personal testimonies make it challenging for authorities to control the narrative fully. Hence, proactive engagement via official declassified documents and educational content is vital to guide informed understanding. The expanding attention to unidentified aerial phenomena (UAP) by government bodies such as the Department of Defense's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office (AARO) represents a shift toward transparency. acknowledging some aerial events that defy easy explanation while maintaining confidence that these do not compromise national security. Looking forward, upcoming potential disclosures may include historical documentation and historic project overviews, gradually shaping the public's accurate knowledge of Area 51's true purpose, while fiercely guarding current and future classified technology. In sum, Area 51 is not just a physical installation, but a complex information-managed institution where public knowledge is meticulously curated to optimize security, technological advantage, and national interest in an era of increasing scrutiny and digital openness. Area 51 is often portrayed as cold and impenetrable, a secretive black site where shadows obscure the truth. But behind the secrecy is a unique human ecosystem that has evolved over decades. The men and women working within this hidden compound comprise an elite cadre of engineers, scientists, military personnel, and contractors who share a culture shaped by confidentiality, innovation, and high stakes. Living conditions on the base are austere but functional. Given its remote desert location, residential quarters were originally designed to promote operational efficiency rather than comfort. However, as the base expanded its projects, amenities such as recreation centers, mess halls, and limited entertainment facilities have been added to support morale during long deployments. Recruitment prioritizes highly skilled professionals who can adjust to the demands of secrecy and intense workloads. Workers often describe the experience as disciplined and isolating. Communication with the outside world is strictly limited, with personal devices controlled to prevent information leaks. This insular environment fosters strong bonds among team members who depend on one another amidst the pressures of groundbreaking experimentation. The workforce includes not just pilots and aerospace engineers, but also experts in computer science, materials engineering, physics, and environmental science. Constant interdisciplinary collaboration is key to the success of complex black projects at Area 51, involving precise coordination from theoretical design to practical flight tests. Security clearance processes are rigorous, with multiple background checks, polygraph examinations, and continuous evaluations to sustain trustworthiness within the community. The intense vetting reflects the sensitive nature of mission objectives and the criticality of protecting national secrets. Despite the restrictions, stories of camaraderie, pride, and deep professional dedication emerge from those who have served at Area 51. Many former employees speak publicly about the exhilarating nature of working at the forefront of technology, balancing risks with the knowledge of contributing to national security and technological advancement. Because of the base isolation, families often live in nearby towns such as Rachel or Alamo. These small communities have become closely linked to the base, creating a localized economy based on government contracts, tourism, and hospitality. Local educators, businesses, and civic organizations interact with military families, blending civilian life with the shadowed influence of Area 51. Social dynamics between base residents and outside communities carry complexities. Secrecy breeds curiosity and sometimes mistrust, even as shared histories create mutual respect. The base's mystique fosters a culture of silence even off-site, with residents mindful of the sensitive nature of their neighbors' work. In the broader military and intelligence ecosystem, Area 51 personnel represent a critical human resource pool trained to adapt rapidly to evolving technologies and strategic demands. The psychological and physical resilience required for this role exemplifies the exceptional human dimension behind America's aerospace achievements. In sum, Area 51 is not only a facility of cutting-edge secrecy, but a unique human environment defined by intense loyalty, professional rigor, and the collective pursuit of innovation at the edge of possibility. Area 51 sits embedded within the unique and fragile ecosystem of southern Nevada's vast desert landscape, an environment rich in biodiversity, but also continuously reshaped by human activities, military operations, and socio-political tensions concerning land use and ownership. The base itself occupies the Groom Lake Salt Flat, a harsh but flat surface located in Tonopah Basin. This basin is part of a larger natural area known for botanical diversity and wildlife adapted to extremes, levels of heat, dryness, and dramatic temperature shifts. The surrounding lands, including the Desert National Wildlife Refuge, protect a range of species, some endangered, such as the desert bighorn sheep and the devil's hole pupfish, aquatic creatures living in isolated spring pools. The establishment of Area 51 and adjacent military sites, including the infamous Nevada test site for nuclear testing, triggered conflicting interests among environmentalists, indigenous groups, local residents, and federal authorities. While the government prioritized national security and testing capabilities, conservationists and Native American communities flagged concerns about land stewardship, cultural heritage, and ecological preservation. The land Area 51 occupies was historically home to various indigenous peoples, primarily the Western Shoshone and Tambisha Shoshone tribes. These communities possess deep ties to the land through traditions, sacred sites, and oral histories. Despite this profound historical relationship, decisions around federal acquisition and military use have often overshadowed or conflicted with indigenous rights and cultural preservation efforts. Environmental controversies came to public attention in the 1990s when lawsuits alleging harmful exposure to toxic chemicals at the base revealed unsafe disposal and burning practices of hazardous materials. Despite court challenges, the government claimed national security privileges, limiting environmental transparency and cleanup obligations. The desert environment itself places practical constraints on operations. Limited water resources demand meticulous usage and recycling within the base. Habitats remain sensitive. Military exercises or infrastructure expansions come under scrutiny to avoid unnecessary disruption. Beyond direct ecological impact, the cultural milieu around Nevada's extraterrestrial highway, a stretch of Route 375 near Rachel, reflects a symbiosis of myth, commerce, and community. Tourism revolving around UFO lore and Area 51 legend has become a significant, if modest, economic activity for nearby towns, blending the spectacle of government secrecy with a spirit of place-based identity. Relationships between locals, the military, and conservationists continue to be complex and evolving. Advocates push for balancing security imperatives with environmental justice and respect for indigenous sovereignty. Government agencies have instituted limited programs to address reclamation, wildlife protection, and cultural site preservation, though these efforts often remain confidential or only partially disclosed. The Nevada deserts encompassing Area 51 thus represent a layered narrative, a landscape of astounding resilience and adaptation, subjected to intense experimentation and secrecy, while serving as a contested space where natural heritage, cultural memory, and military ambition intersect. Exploring environmental realities grounds the Area 51 mystery, intangible consequences, and shared stewardship responsibilities that extend beyond aviation secrets into the stewardship of an irreplaceable ecosystem. For decades, Area 51 has stood as an impenetrable fortress guarding America's most secretive aviation projects and top-secret military technologies. In recent years, especially leading into 2025, speculation has been mounting around the possibility that some of these guarded secrets will finally emerge from the shadows of classified silence into public knowledge, offering a tantalizing glimpse into what really transpires behind the restricted fences of Groom Lake. This anticipation has roots in interviews with former Area 51 insiders and aviation experts dating back decades. In a 1999 discussion, aviation historian Jim Goodall revealed conversations with sources who worked at the base, suggesting that critical classified programs would remain undisclosed until 2025. These programs, described as hostile to conventional understanding of aerospace technology, triggered worldwide interest as the seemingly distant date approached. The significance of 2025 and the possibility of official disclosure of advanced aerospace projects arises from inherent limits placed on the duration of classification. U.S. executive orders typically set maximum periods, after which certain programs may be declassified, whether by predetermined timelines or political decisions, opening the door for historical revelations. One area primed for disclosure is the long-awaited acknowledgement of covert aircraft development, like the U-2, A-12 OX-SART, and F-17 Nighthawk stealth programs. While these aircraft were once hidden in darkness, over the years their existence and design features have been gradually declassified. The full extent of their testing and evolution, including operational secrets surrounding their design and mission profiles, may provide rich historical context when documents are finally released. Beyond aircraft, there are rumors of breakthroughs in propulsion systems, electronic warfare, and potentially exotic technologies previously dismissed as science fiction, though these whispers teeter between hope and skepticism. They add an element of excitement and mystery to the prospect of forthcoming disclosures. Experts emphasize that a potential wave of information unveiling Area 51's past must be understood through measured critical lenses. Not all revelations will relate to alien spacecraft or secret government experiments with extraterrestrial entities, despite enduring public fascination with such theories. Instead, disclosures are more likely to focus on tangible, earthly military science achievements that have been developed in extreme secrecy. In parallel with official disclosures, the military and intelligence agencies are expected to continue rigorous secrecy surrounding ongoing projects critical to current national defense strategy. Thus, institutions will likely navigate a delicate balance between transparency and protecting technologies that remain essential in a competitive global security environment. Public excitement and media attention have surged in response to leaked interviews, archival document releases, and growing government efforts to address unidentified aerial phenomena. UAP openly aiming to distinguish genuine security concerns from folklore. Furthermore, this moment in time marks a cultural turning point. Area 51 transcends conventional military significance to symbolize broader societal questions about government transparency, the limits of scientific knowledge, and the persistent allure of mystery itself. As 2025 unfolds, the world watches with anticipation, poised to receive perhaps the most detailed official account of Area 51's history and contributions since its emergence in the Cold War. Regardless of what is revealed, the narratives and images surrounding the base's secretive past will continue to fuel discourse, innovation, and imagination in the decades ahead. As 2025 progresses, new insights emerge from credible experts, scientists, and official disclosures which begin to illuminate aspects of Area 51 that have long been shrouded in secrecy and speculation. While much remains classified, the broader public and scientific communities gain clearer understanding of the Nevada facility's true role in aerospace innovation and national security. David Grinspoon, a NASA astrobiologist, recently offered commentary on Area 51's persistent mystery in an interview with Wired magazine. According to Grinspoon, the base's legendary status largely stems from human fascination with the unknown and intrinsic cultural myths about extraterrestrial life. However, he emphasized that the scientific community views Area 51 primarily as a hub for advanced aeronautics research, not alien technology repositories. satellite images from late 2024 and early 2025, accessible via private space imaging enterprises, reveal sprawling infrastructure centered around large hangars, expansive runways capable of supporting experimental aircraft, and intricate sensor arrays. These visuals confirm the base's heavy investment in aerospace technology development, strongly aligned with government research priorities. Significant government actions in recent years have partially declassified historical documents verifying that Area 51 developed and tested some of the most innovative aircraft of the Cold War era, including the U-2 spy plane and the stealth F-117 Nighthawk, significantly contributing to U.S. aerial superiority. One of the more surprising disclosures of 2025 involves acknowledgments by former insiders and archival evidence that some of Area 51's secrecy surrounding UFO phenomena was deliberately amplified by Pentagon disinformation strategies to mask classified weapons research during the Cold War. The Pentagon's Defense Intelligence Agency reportedly used UFO myths to deflect attention from black-budget aircraft programs, effectively weaponizing popular imagination for strategic purposes. Experts like renowned aviation historian Jim Goodall have corroborated claims that the true nature of Area 51's cutting-edge technology is so advanced it transcends current public aerospace knowledge, described hyperbolically as technology that would make George Lucas envious. At the same time, ongoing research into unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, an acronym replacing UFO, has brought fresh government focus on unexplained incidents in U.S. airspace, with Area 51 still considered a key asset in understanding and investigating aerial anomalies, even if official explanations eschew extraterrestrial origins. Public attention continues to be captured by a viral 1999 interview with an alleged Area 51 worker who cryptically insisted that many of the base's secrets would remain unrevealed until 2025, a statement that circulated widely on social platforms in late 2024 and early 2025, fueling excitement and conspiracy theorizing. Despite these disclosures, the U.S. government maintains that current ongoing programs at Area 51 remain amongst the most sensitive and consequential technological advancements critical to national defense. The balance between transparency and operational covertness is carefully managed to protect American aerial dominance amid intense international competition. The interplay of technology, national security, and myth continues to make Area 51 a unique phenomenon in global awareness, a place where fact and fiction entwine, where science advances behind veils of secrecy, and where the human fascination with the unknown pushes boundaries of imagination. In essence, 2025 marks a milestone year for Area 51, both in revelation and enduring mystery, providing a fascinating case study in the complexities of controlled information, scientific progress, and cultural mythology. In 2025, Area 51 stands as a pivotal asset within the United States' broader national security and aerospace development programs, merging historical significance with cutting-edge innovation. Situated within the Nevada Test and Training Range and administered by Edwards Air Force Base, the facility's isolated location continues to offer an unparalleled environment for experimental aviation and classified defense research. Contemporary focus areas at the base include the advancement of stealth aircraft designed to evade increasingly sophisticated radar systems, and electronic warfare countermeasures. Innovations in radar-absorbing materials, adaptive aircraft surface treatments, and low observable design principles maintain Area 51's role in pioneering the next generation of combat and reconnaissance planes. Drone and unmanned aerial vehicle UAV technology testing constitutes a substantial portion of operational activity. These autonomous or remotely piloted systems are central to future battlefield strategies, capable of swarming tactics, persistent surveillance, and rapid response missions, which Area 51 supports through dedicated development and flight trial programs. Hypersonic propulsion development remains critical at the base, with test flights pushing the boundaries of speed and altitude. These vehicles, capable of exceeding Mach 5, offer strategic advantages in rapid strike and intelligence gathering, intended to circumvent enemy missile defenses and deliver prompt, precise military capabilities. Area 51's infrastructure supports intensive research into advanced propulsion concepts beyond conventional jet engines, including electromagnetic and plasma propulsion theorized to revolutionize aerospace travel. While still speculative in the public eye, insider accounts and government research budgets highlight this emerging frontier as a key priority. Cybersecurity and electronic warfare dominate parallel streams of development. Sophisticated encryption, digital stealth, and counter-surveillance technologies are tested for deployment on platforms conceived here, aligning with growing global emphasis on multi-layered defense in air and space domains. Increased transparency in recent years, propelled by declassified archives and whistleblower testimonies, has helped the public begin to glimpse the facility's tangible achievements rather than conjecture. Yet Area 51 today remains the embodiment of the duality between necessary secrecy for national defense and enduring public curiosity fueled by cultural mythology. As geopolitical tensions fluctuate, the strategic importance of a facility like Area 51 only intensifies. It serves as a crucible where America's aerospace advantage is forged, defending freedom of operation in international airspace and responding to emergent threats with speed and discretion. Summing up, the base is a vital symbol and instrument of modern military technology and strategic deterrence, quietly underpinning national security through relentless innovation, expert personnel, and an unwavering commitment to advance the aerospace frontier. In 2025, Area 51 remains a focal point of military innovation and clandestine aerospace research, blending decades of classified development with ongoing efforts to maintain a strategic edge in global defense. Although partial information has been declassified, the facility's full scope continues to elude public understanding. The base, located at Groom Lake within the Nevada Test and Training Range, and managed by Edwards Air Force Base, functions primarily as a flight testing site. Its origins date to early Cold War projects like the U-2 reconnaissance aircraft, with subsequent missions involving the A-12 OX Cart and stealth fighter prototypes. These programs not only revolutionized aviation, but set standards for secrecy and operational security. Recent years have seen resurfaced testimonies and interviews hinting at planned disclosures slated for 2025. Aviation writer Jim Goodall, in a revelation dating back to 1999, suggested that much of Area Farm 51's technology would remain hidden until this year. The anticipation stirred wide public attention, although government releases continue to balance transparency with protecting ongoing sensitive projects. Satellite imagery from the last several years corroborates the presence of multiple runways, large hangars, and sophisticated sensor installations. These facilities support a range of activities including testing of unmanned aerial drones, hypersonic vehicles capable of exceeding Mach 5, and advanced electronic warfare platforms designed to protect U.S. airspace and cyber domains. The Pentagon's acknowledged use of disinformation campaigns in past decades adds a layer of complexity to understanding what genuinely occurs at the base. By propagating UFO narratives, defense agencies effectively mask classified aircraft development under a veil of extraterrestrial mystery, an ingenious, if controversial, counterintelligence strategy. With the rise of unidentified aerial phenomena as a legitimate topic of government and scientific inquiry, Area 51 remains relevant both in operational capability and cultural resonance. Official Pentagon programs now investigate aerial sightings while diligently separating fact from fiction in their assessments. Despite heightened public interest and partial disclosure, the full breadth of cutting-edge research at Area 51 continues to be closely guarded. Notably, advancements in propulsion systems, stealth materials, autonomous systems, and electronic warfare are believed to be integral to ongoing projects, positioning the base at the forefront of future warfare technology. The cultural mythology surrounding Area 51, its association with aliens, secretive government projects, and shadowy experiments, remains intertwined with its real-world contributions to aerospace. The site embodies a balance of knowledge and mystery, a symbol of human ingenuity and the profound challenges of national security. In summary, Area 51 in 2025 stands not only as a historical icon, but as a living, evolving epicenter of advanced aviation and defense innovation, its true story continuously unfolding, guarded by layers of secrecy, yet shining through with flashes of revelation. Since its inception, Area 51 has been enveloped not just in physical fencing and restricted airspace, but also in a sophisticated veil of information control techniques that blend fact with fiction, contributing to decades of confusion and speculation regarding its true role. One of the primary tools of strategic obscurity has been deliberate disinformation campaigns orchestrated during the Cold War. These initiatives capitalized on public fascination with UFOs and extraterrestrial beings, strategically diverting attention away from highly sensitive aerospace and weapons testing programs. High-ranking defense officials reportedly fueled rumors about alien spacecraft and reverse engineering projects to cloak advanced stealth aircraft, like the U-2 and later the F-117 Nighthawk. This duality, a real hub of cutting-edge aviation technology concealed under a fog of fantastical speculation, served a clear purpose. By embedding myths within public discourse, military intelligence effectively safeguarded operational security, dismissing potential foreign espionage or civilian interference. The ritualistic denial of Area 51's existence until 2013, when the CIA formally acknowledged the site in response to Freedom of Information Act requests, was part and parcel of this cloak and dagger approach. The subsequent declassification of some programs, primarily historical reconnaissance aircraft, offered a calibrated reveal that preserved the mystery around ongoing projects. As the 21st century progressed, the rise of the internet and satellite imagery democratized access to information, creating new challenges for controlling the narrative around Area 51. Enthusiasts, conspiracy theorists, and independent researchers began piecing together fragmented evidence from flight patterns, leaked memos, and whistleblower testimonies, amplifying public intrigue. In response, the government has adapted. Modern information control includes the release of selective documents, sanitized images, and official statements designed to educate without compromising security details. This controlled transparency balances the public's right to know with the imperative of protecting national secrets. Notably, in 2025, official reports affirming the use of strategic misinformation to shield secret weapons programs confirmed that the alien and UFO stories were in part cultivated intentionally. This revelation reshapes the dynamic between government agencies and the public, suggesting a complex ethical terrain where strategic deception was employed as a security measure. Yet, even with such disclosures, the boundaries between truth and myth remain blurred among the public. Area 51 occupies a unique cultural space where narratives of technology, secrecy, government mistrust, and the paranormal coexist, feeding into a cyclical fascination. Ultimately, the carefully orchestrated camouflage of Area 51's real activities exemplifies the sophisticated interplay of military strategy, psychology, and communication. It reflects a historical blueprint for managing information in a world increasingly sensitive to transparency yet dependent on covert technological superiority. In 2025, Area 51 continues to symbolize the forefront of American aerospace innovation and military preparedness. Far beyond the realm of folklore and speculation, the base serves as an active incubator for technologies that define the future contours of aerial and space dominance. Recent expert interviews, satellite observations, and selective disclosures paint a picture of a sprawling base buzzing with experimental prototypes, some capable of defying conventional aerodynamic principles. The facility supports research into hypersonic aircraft that travel at speeds exceeding Mach 5, embodying the dream of rapid global reach and precision engagement with minimal detection. Unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, tested at Area 51 now integrate sophisticated artificial intelligence, enabling coordinated swarming, mission adaptability, and autonomous targeting. These systems are intended to augment and, in some domains, replace manned platforms, emphasizing endurance, stealth, and networked combat superiority. Breakthroughs in stealth materials and electronic warfare systems ensure that new craft attain unprecedented levels of radar invisibility and countermeasure resilience. Area 51's role is critical in transitioning nascent material sciences into operationally viable solutions that can outpace adversaries' evolving sensor technologies. Innovations extend to propulsion as well. Research into electromagnetic and plasma-based drives portends a paradigm shift in aerospace engineering, potentially enabling longer missions, faster speeds, and novel maneuvering capabilities previously unattainable with traditional jet or rocket engines. The facility also supports rigorous pilot and operator training incorporating immersive simulation technologies. This training ensures that personnel are equipped to manage next-generation platforms under operational conditions, preparing for multi-domain conflicts that involve cyber-physical integration and rapid decision-making. While Area 51 notably reverberates through popular culture due to its secretive nature, 2025 marks a maturation of its symbolic and practical importance. Its legacy as the birthplace of iconic aircraft continues, now fusing with cutting-edge research that may redefine boundaries of flight and defense for decades to come. Critically, Area 51's continuing mission balances the dual imperatives of transparency, driven by public and governmental disclosure policies, and the enduring need for secrecy to safeguard technological advantage in a complex international security environment. Reflecting on the future, Area 51 stands not only as a monument to innovation and stealth, but as a beacon of how advanced aerospace technologies are conceived, rigorously tested, and integrated into national defense architectures to address evolving global challenges.